You mentioned that in the early days of political, there were doubters. There were people who said, "You're trying to do what? It's a
Right.
there's no room for it." And so, what would you say were the greatest challenges that you faced during those early days at Politico, and how did you deal with them?
Well, one is just kind of creating the brand. It's difficult today, and even then, I think it's even harder today, though. But it's difficult to create a brand. People have, if they have brand loyalty, they've selected their brands. And today, people don't have the brand loyalty that they used to have. Decades ago, people would drive a certain car. They drive a Ford, or they drive a GM, or whatever, and they had loyalty to that brand. And today, not so much. But to create a news site, we needed a brand, we needed an identity. So we spent a lot of time actually thinking about what the name would be. And we had a number of variations, as you could imagine, and finally we just came up with Politico. The reason being that you could spell it, you could remember it, it kind of tells what the subject is.
Yeah.
So we went with that. But the obstacles, as you mentioned, I mean, when you enter a marketplace, you have to be ready for others in the marketplace to say, well, we're going to squeeze you out, or we're going to prevent you from entering. So we had competitors who wanted to see if they could prevent us from getting traction, but we just persevered and worked at it, and pretty soon we could see that the brand had emerged and people were loyal. We did have a belief that people wanted, the people who follow politics want concise, quick, early in the morning information. So our first strategy we created was called Win the Morning. We wanted to know that in the morning we were going to be the destination people went to. Then we figured people would be consuming it on their handheld device, so we wanted every story to fit nicely on a small mobile screen. In fact, this was the era of the BlackBerry. And our
Oh my gosh,
format,
I haven't heard that in a while, the BlackBerry.
This was, every story was to fit within a single BlackBerry screen. And then you could click through for more, but the summary of every story. So we wanted it to be fast, we wanted it to be mobile, and we wanted to be kind of a high metabolism type thing. So people who are involved in politics and who follow it are high energy. They may also like to read long, in-depth pieces to kind of, for the intellectual benefits of that, but on a day-to-day basis, they want the facts right away. They want to know what it means. And
They're on the move. They're running campaigns.
Yes.
They're moving city to city.
Right.